All right, and welcome to the nastiest, grossest, most virus-infected piece of shit podcast that has ever existed since the dawn of humanity. I'm here with my guest, Sarah. Say hi, Sarah.
Hello, everyone. I get to be with Mr. Pickle. See, this is awesome.
Welcome to the show. So Sarah sent me some information that she was doing a land patent. And yes. I got really excited about it. And she sent me all sorts of documents and all sorts of things that she was doing. And I was like, holy shit, because I get a lot of questions on this. I don't have any property myself. I haven't had the opportunity to really get into land patents with my own two pickle hands too much. I don't really have access to a whole lot of that kind of thing. I will at some point in time do it for myself, but I am currently enjoying not having to deal with a property. And so I thought I'd bring Sarah on the show. I was going to let her share her story and share her documents. And I know a lot of people are going to be really interested in this subject. So welcome to the show, Sarah. It's a real pleasure.
Thank you, Brandon, for having me. This is a real honor to be able to share this information with our fellow nationals. So.
Yeah, that's great. So go ahead and start from the beginning. When did you start getting into all this? And then where does my material come in? And then where does the land patents come in?
Sure. So I actually heard about the straw man back in 2005 when I was in the military. And I didn't know what it was. It was kind of explained to me a little bit, but everything was so suppressed that it was hard to find information on it. So I just kind of put it on the back burner, and years go by. And now I'm not in the military anymore, 13 years later, and started my own business. And all of a sudden, it fell in my lap again. I just happened to fall into David Straight stuff on YouTube. And I was like, holy cow, this is what was said to me back in 2005. But yet he actually had a path. So I started just listening to him and all that. And then I just started searching, and I found you, and I actually applied for your course and just enjoyed every bit of what you were saying. You had me in stitches because, I am salty sailor. So, it was awesome. And my husband's a trucker now. He's retired military. So I'm sending him these videos, and he is just loving it. So I really do appreciate your content.
Thank you so much.
It really helps get through the days. And I just was like, you did that conditional release, that conditional acceptance, and that was it. I was like, that's what I need. So I have property. I have 12 acres. I have a farm, and I really just want to get it out of the state. So I just started researching what you were talking about, and I found this land patent book, which was actually recommended by David Straight. And I read it cover to cover, and it was amazing. And so I took your idea of the conditional acceptance and the land patent information, and I shoved in, what I felt was for me. And I sent it off with a 1946, I think it is, 46 silver coin attached to the top of it. And I mailed it to the conditional acceptance to our mortgage company. And then I CC'd like DeSantis and the Attorney General. But as far as the land patent part goes, that's a separate process. You have to do both consecutively, because the land patent part takes a little bit longer, to post it and all of that stuff. But sorry, I kind of merged into the mortgage part a little bit with the conditional acceptance, but
no, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Yeah, I see you sent me the land patent book by Ron Gibson, which is the one that I always recommend to people. Yes. I didn't know it was a free download online. I may actually put that on my resources page for a download, because I didn't realize that was just free. Because I looked on Amazon after you sent that to me. I looked on Amazon, and I since I'm an author and I write books, I like to support other people, and I like to buy their books if they're available. But apparently that book either isn't sold on Amazon or just isn't really sold at all. It's pretty much just given away, period, or something. I don't know, but
well, I will tell you, I did buy the book, but in the meantime, I was so excited that I couldn't wait. So I started reading the free version. So I actually have the hard book. They're hard to find, and if you order them, it takes a while to get them. They're gone. They're just a hot commodity. So yeah.
And very interesting. Very interesting.
Yes. 118 pages of the book, on the front of the book, is nothing but codes and USC, and it describes like how we're supposed to own the land. And it's just amazing story.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, the PDF that you sent me. It looks pretty amazing. It doesn't look terribly meaty either. It looks like someone could read this without dying.
Correct. Big words. The lettering is very, very large too, so which is nice.
So it's not really 118 pages, it looks like. It's more like maybe 60 or 70, it looks like.
There's still if you scroll through, there's still more cases and stuff in there. And let's see, I'm on 105 pages right now. It's still quoting USC codes or US codes. And then case law in there. Let's see.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So according to your email, you have a letter and notice that you typed out, and then you started getting that recorded. Go ahead and walk us through the day by day from the beginning to the end in detail, and the difficulties that you ran into. It looks like you ran into some difficulties with public notice type, maybe county recorder type situation, something like that. So just go ahead and describe the experience from the beginning and kind of what you went through, because just so everyone knows, she was doing the filing for the land patents and discharging her mortgage at the same time. So I'm assuming it was sort of like you were doing a lot of things on the private side, and then you were also doing things on the public side separately. It was like two different packages and trajectories. So you can put them together into one story, because I'm sure they come together, but just explain the timeline on it.
Okay, so after I read the book, I started typing up the conditional acceptance for the mortgage. And once I finished that and got that in the mail, I also at the same time started typing up the land patent. And in the land patent book itself, and also in the PDF I sent you, on page 117, actually, it shows the letter that you type up. It's literally... I felt kind of handheld a little bit, but I appreciated it. And in here, it actually has the letter that you type up in the instructions, step-by-step instructions.
Now, hold on 1 second. I think I might pull that up. Steps to land patent?
Yes.
So I'm going to share this. Hold on 1 second. And then we can talk about that while we're going through it. So I have it here on the screen.
Yes. So basically, it goes through in order. You have 1 through 16 steps, and he literally breaks it down. So the difficult part, there's a couple difficult parts. The first part is you have to find your original patent. So there's 2 ways to do that. You either do it off your survey, which is the easiest way to do it. But what I'm realizing, a lot of people I've talked to don't have their survey, or they don't know where it's at. I got lucky and I have my survey. So I was able to immediately pull up my land patent.
When you say had a survey, does that mean someone came to your house and did the little wheel thing? Is that what that means?
Yes. And then they give it to you like on it's like a huge plat, and it has on there a boundary. It describes like the boundaries.
Okay. And you got one of those when you bought your property, or you can pay someone to do it at any time while you own your property, but most people don't do it, I'm assuming, because when you survey the property, it resets the property tax to the new value of whatever they surveyed. Is that right?
Correct.
So most people never do it. Basically, they do it when they buy and they do it when they sell, essentially. Is that correct?
Well, if you get a mortgage on the property, they require a survey because it's part of the title search.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I did.
So step one is get a copy of your meets and bounds, which essentially is the survey. You're talking about
Correct.
the survey, right?
Yes, that's what that means.
Also, where your land is located within the section of the survey. I'm assuming, okay, from your own file on your purchase or the title company, call the BLM office with the information from this. So you have to get that first. If you don't have a survey, you have to pay to get one done. Is that right?
You do. The second way to do it is on that particular land patent. If you go to the Bureau of Land Management, you can actually search down into your property. It's going to take a little time. And if in that stuff I sent you, there actually is instructions. I included it in that email. There's instructions on how you can do it step by step to search for your land patent.
It's this one here.
It. Yes. And it goes through and it's just, like how you search it down into because it'll show the streets. So you can have a little common sense of like where it's located.
So this website, BLM website, on this website, you can search for the last time your property was surveyed because surveys are like public information. Yes. Is that what this is?
That's correct. They're public information because the state owns them.
I see. So, interesting. So basically what you're doing is as long as your property boundaries have never changed since the last time the survey was completed, you can simply go onto the website and just pull up the last one that was done. Is that right?
That's correct.
And if your property lines did change or something did happen with your property since the last time it was done, you would need to get a new survey at that point.
Well, actually, you don't. There's a way around it because surveys can be very expensive. So it's kind of like I'm using like 3 different types of materials here. I'm using the Bureau of Land Management site, and then I'm also using your county public record site. You can actually go to your county, and search for your public records of the warranty deeds and drill down. So you're going from like your warranty deed and you can work towards a land patent, or you can go from the land patent and work upwards. So it depends on how much material you have on hand. So if you can find it in the Bureau of Land Management right away, great, because then you can search towards your warranty deed.
Interesting.
Yes, it's kind of like everyone's going to be completely different. I will tell you, like mine came out of 80 acres. My original land patent was 80 acres, and then my 12 acres.
Oh, I see. I see. So the land patent was on a larger plot of land, yes. And then you're only claiming to the land patent a section of that patent,
which is surveyed off already in my survey. It's plucked out of that. So all I'm doing is taking that 80-acre land patent, and I'm only claiming that portion to be mine.
I see.
Yeah.
So once you get this information, you order from the Bureau of Land Management 3 certified copies containing the following information. I see. Certified embossed on the front, title and patent number.
Yes, and I included one on the email for you if you wanted to show it what it looks like.
Let's see. Was it called Land Patent Service?
No. It's if you go, no, it's not that one. I can see. It should be right there where it says, let me see if I have it. I thought I included it on there. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
I guess it's not. I apologize. I thought I included it so you could see it. But it's handwritten in cursive. And mine was signed by Teddy Roosevelt.
It's the original land patent is hand. Oh, that makes it, well, duh. I don't know why that was so shocking to me.
Right? I know.
Okay.
It's like, it took me back a little bit too when I first saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. But it was signed in 1901.
Can you share share your screen? I'm gonna or maybe put it in front of the screen or something.
Yeah, let me pull it. I got it right here.
That's so cool. I've always wanted to see one of these. So you ordered a copy of that. Oh my God. Hold on one second. I'm going to maximize your screen. So you pulled that up. So that's what the original one looked like from 1901, you said?
1901. Yeah.
Scroll down a little bit.
And then right here you'll see Teddy, you'll see his name right here. It says Teddy Roosevelt.
Wow, look at that. I would get something like that framed. That is so cool.
Isn't that neat?
Wow. I can't believe they have these on file at the BLM.
Yeah, and they used to be in Gainesville. So like all the states had held their own land patent, but they were taken. When we all went into the corporation, they went in and they took all of the land patents out and put them in well, mine is out of Virginia. But it's supposed to be in Gainesville, which states on the land patent itself that Gainesville is our land office here in Florida.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you got a copy of that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Texas is the only state that still has theirs. They never gave them up.
So all land in Texas is allodial, or how does that work?
Yes.
No shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah. They never gave up their property to the corporation.
So in Texas, everyone has an allodial property land patent. You don't need to go and do all this.
All they have to do is just go get it and just say, okay, I have this piece out of that piece, because like if it came out of a larger piece, they just have to claim theirs.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you found your original land patent through requesting it through the BLM, right?
No, actually, I just went online. So if that one that I showed you where it showed like the big orange boxes, you literally can drill down and find your area where you're at, and then you click on it. It has a list, and you click on it, and it will pull up the land patent for you. So like that orange box there, let's say that's probably like section 13. And within that section, there's probably like 100 acres. And within that 100 acres is probably yours. Like that. That's how you do it. You drill it down. And then there's a list. If you scroll, you'll see like a list will pop up. And in that list is going to be these land patents there, and those are the names, the original names that were on the patents at the time. So
wow, look at that. 1881, 1885, 1874, 1876. Holy shit, that's cool.
Isn't that neat?
Wow.
So, and if you clicked on that blue, like if this was an actual link, you can click on that blue on the left, and it will pull it up, and it will be it'll look like this. It'll be handwritten patent. And then you can make a copy of it. You can actually print that out as like just having a little record of it, and then you order the certified copies.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Oh, I see. Then you have this area, section, and page to narrow it down. So then you got a certified copy of that handwritten land patent from Teddy Roosevelt, and then what'd you do with that?
So then I had to build the package. So in the steps of the land patent book or online in the PDF, it has that letter, and you just type up that letter that's in there, and you just follow along in the steps, and you build this package. And in there explains you have to find the warranty deeds that go from the land patent up to the one you have, because it's a chain. You have to like build that chain of title.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. It's because you're claiming that particular warranty deed down to the patent.
I see. So you're it's like the common law. You're filing a claim in the court, just like in common. It's basically a common law claim that you're filing.
Right, but you don't have to. The amazing thing about it is you don't have to go to court. You just have to put it as a public notice for 61 days, and you post it.
So it's just like whatever. It's just like a copyright or anything else. You're basically just saying, "Hey, I claim this land." And if nobody else contests this claim in 61 days, then that's it.
And then you record it in your county.
I see.
And then you can inform the state and your tax office that the land is yours and you no longer are subject to property tax on the property.
Okay. And then you also inform the police as well, right?
Yes, you can send it to your sheriff.
Sheriffs, yeah.
You can send it to anyone you want that you feel that needs to be notified.
Yeah. Now, one of the questions I get a lot about this process that I'm not sure if you know yet, because you're in the middle of waiting your 61 days, right?
Yes, and the mortgage company, I'm waiting on them too.
Now, how does that work? I'm going to pull up your conditional acceptance from how. So this is a silver quarter that you sent them, okay?
Mm-hmm. It's a 1946 silver quarter.
Yeah. Okay, and then we have this, and then we have this. Okay, good. Okay. And then we have this. It all looks very familiar to me.
Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, good. And then we go down, and we have facts and events. Good. Good. Conditions for acceptance. Okay. Limitations of time. Okay.
And then here, if you put, I put tender and law. I added those to show them that, the law says tender has to be in gold and silver. So that's why I put the silver coin on the actual conditional acceptance.
Yeah, I see that. So you're actually paying for real for your property.
Yes.
So did they send you anything on this? How long have they had this?
They received it. Wait. I sent it on the 6th. So not this Friday, the Friday before.
Any response?
30 days. Nothing yet. So
do you have to discharge the mortgage if you're going to do the land patent? They're pretty much shit out of luck, aren't they?
Yeah. Once you get the land patent, you can use it to help break that mortgage, off of it. But you still have to have that process already pretty much done. And you could say, I did the land patent. By law, there's not supposed to be anything attached to that. No liens.
Can they file something stating that they are going against the land patent for your 61 days?
You can't. They can't do it. Because I've lived on the property for more than 7 years or 7 years. There's nothing, they can't challenge it because I've lived here on this property. I am domiciled here. And if you read the actual in the land patent book, it makes it very clear in court cases and everything that nothing can challenge that because they don't live here. Yeah.
So you're just giving them a little bit of silver and making them prove that they actually gave you money, which they can't do. So they're basically fucked, essentially. So,
Exactly.
That makes sense. So, wow. Okay. So,
there's another piece to this, and it's the Department of Interior. And in the book, it recommends that you contact the Department of Interior and you let them know, or you ask them, is there any liens on my property? Because supposedly they're attaching the U.S. debt, some of the U.S. debt to the property. And so I'm writing to the Department of Interior and saying, hey, I want to pay off any debts that are on this property. Could you let me know if there's any liens on this property? And you just be nice about it, of course. And when they respond and they say, oh, yes, there is, and here's the amount, and then you literally take that and you go to your title company and you put it in writing, of course, to them. And you say, well, guess what? There is lien on my property and you didn't disclose that to me. So now you're going to pay for this lien that's on my property.
And that's why title companies have title insurance, right?
Correct.
I see. So the insurance is going to pay out on that.
Not on the mortgage, but on the debt that's on there that we don't even know how much is attached to.
Yeah, the public debt, corporate lien, that is going to get paid by the title company's insurance company, probably.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so you have 3 different discharges occurring. You have the warranty deed, you have the mortgage, and then you have the. So the Department of the Interior is basically, just for anyone who is not familiar with what that means, is the Department of the Interior is responsible for like Indian relations. It's also responsible for parks. Like it has to do with a lot of the land and a lot of the key zones and the relationships between the different native things inside of the borders of America. So it's interesting because it's kind of weird because the Department of the Interior technically would only apply to the District of Columbia. So I don't know how they pull all that off, but probably just like everything else with all the word games.
Exactly. But he recommended that in the book to write to them and ask them, so that just to make sure that there isn't any of that attached to the property. So.
And what difficulties have you run into with all of this?
My main one I have run into is trying to post it publicly. He recommends to post it either in the post office or the library. And I went to both places and they were like, looked at me like I had 3 heads. They're like, we're not doing that. So I said, that's okay. I'm going to keep researching. So I researched and found the other site that I sent you, the thing on there. It's the State National. It's called Land Patent Posting. It's by the State National Help. And he actually will post it for you on their website. But I decided I'm going to make my own. So I made my own public notice site. And if you click on the top of that, it says Michael John Stetson right there on the links. Yep. And that's where my land patent is sitting, my whole packet. And I have 52 days, 11 hours. So I put a little timer on there just to remind me. And so this is the actual thing. So all of that notice, everything's in the book that you can type it up. And if you scroll down, actually, you can see the original land patent. If you want to scroll down, it's all the way at the bottom as well. And you'll see how they notarized it and all that on there. So, and that's my chain of summary that shows all my warranty deeds that I had to find and make a chain of title there.
Now, all this information that's redacted is all like other people's information that own the property before you did, right?
Correct. Their names are in the summary, that their names have to be there. But as far as like addresses and stuff, I took all that out.
Because that would violate like privacy type situation.
Well, it's public information. I just was trying to be honorable and just.
Oh, I get it. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Warranty deed.
Yeah, and that's the whole chain. It was a lot of work.
Quit claim deed. Wow. Okay. Warranty deed here.
And there it is, right?
Big boy, right here.
Mm-hmm.
To all whom these presents shall come, greeting. Wow. It's like a whole different world.
It is.
General Land Office of Gainesville, Florida. East half of the northeast corner section.
And that's what you need off the survey, where it says that on there. It'll say like section and range. That's what you would use if you have your survey.
Theodore Roosevelt, President of the United States of America. Wow, look at that. And that's his seal there, I guess.
Yes, that's the embossment. And I put a little, I have 3 copies. So what I did, I took one and just did the pencil over it so you could see the embossment on there.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Wow. So this little stamp right here, this was on the back of the land patent.
That's what they do to certify it. They put this stamp on the back of it, and you could see this one came out of Leesburg, Falls Church, Virginia, is where my patent's being held.
Wow. That's so cool. This symbol up here.
Yes. And if you look, you can see the actual land patent numbers on there as well, right under it.
Wow, look at that. Application 25241 Wow. Homestead. Oh, that's right, because it was considered a homestead back then, yeah. The United States of America. Well, that is absolutely fascinating. So you got all of these on this website. So was it really all that difficult to get them from this? Because you just click and then you just download it, and then you just download the 3 or 4 different deeds, and then you just go get them certified copies, right?
No, there's 2 different sites. So the one that you have up right now, that's the BLM site. That's where they only hold land patents. The other site that they need to look into is their county recorder.
Oh, I see. You had to go to the county recorder to find the quitclaim and the warranty deeds?
Correct. And usually they have them online now. So it's pretty easy. So you just have to know like the chain. So like I was able to go from the land patent to mine because I was able to find off my survey, and all I did was search for the last names, and I worked backwards. So if you go back to the land patent one where you found it, I'll show you what I'm talking about. And it actually has the names, and it just goes from one person to the next, to the next, to the next. And I was able to search it. So if you go to like where you were looking at the land patent, which is under the and if you scroll up, it's included in here. It says that right there, yes. And so you can see the land patent owner. So there's a land patent number 15703, and then it was bequeathed, which was like through that quitclaim, and it went to Jerry Stratton and Peggy Voiles.
Mm-hmm.
And see how it just grows. It just goes to the next one all the way down. So it went from this, from left to right, and then it ended up with us at the end.
How did the land patent get attached to them all the way in 1989?
So in 1901, this land patent was given to Voiles, the family of Voiles. That's what's on the original land patent. Mm-hmm. And so what I did was I went to the public records and I looked up Voiles as far as I could go back. And it popped up this Jerry Stratton and Peggy Voiles. So it was bequeathed from the dad to the daughter.
Oh, so it stayed in the family from 1901 all the way until 1989.
Yes.
I see.
And then she bequeathed it again, but it was like they took out a second mortgage or something on the property, so they had to record it again. So all I did was just make sure that was in the chain because it came up again as like a warranty deed. And then they sold it to this Mary Loesch in 2002. And then Mary sold it to Timothy, and that's how it went. And you just have to search for the names. And what's cool is that on the property itself, on the warranty deed, it gives you the exact same range, section, and all that it matches your land patent. So that stays consistent all the way through on the warranty deeds.
2006 and then 2000. Ickies, Becca's, MS. Huh.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. So that's the summary, and then from the summary you go down into the document, and then it starts at the first one of that summary.
Correct.
Which would be, so it goes from, you did yours from the soonest one back to the
chain it
beginning.
all the way down.
Yeah. So you started at the 2016 one, which is yours.
Correct.
And then you went, and this is still that same one, notarized. And then you probably go to the next one, which is the 2012. Okay. I see. That's just a one-pager. And then you go to the next one. And you got certified copies of all these from the county recorder?
Yeah, because on the website, when you print them out, they've already been recorded. The recorded information's already on there. So I don't have to go back and have them recertified again because it came from their website.
Oh, wow. You'd think they want you to pay you for certified copies.
And in there, he didn't really specify. He was just like, you can just either go to them and get it, or you can search it on your own. So I just searched on my own. Yeah, and they can't really, and if they try to challenge it, it wouldn't really matter because it came from their office. So it's like, it came from their website.
They want their $3 a page, you know?
Oh, it's crazy.
So then we have another warranty deed. Okay. Warranty deed. And then this one.
And if you look there, you'll see it again. Like it just keeps saying like the township, the range, the section. And each one will say the same thing. And that's how you also know that you have the right one.
So if I go to the Bureau of Land Management, you can do this right now? You can go on here?
No, back out of that. You have to go to the other one. You have to type in lookup after you type in Bureau of Land Management. Type in, there you go. And it's going to say glow. Yep, there it is right there.
So, land patents. Huh.
And if
Survey
you want to order
plats.
Yes. And you can order a parchment one too, which is really cool.
Parchment version of your land patent?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's so cool. I would totally do that. Land catalog? What the hell?
So those are the states that they hold. They don't have Texas. I'm not sure where Georgia and Kentucky and all those are at. I know that they don't hold their own. So I'm not sure what was going on with those states.
It's kind of weird because that whole area, this whole area was the original America right here.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this area right here, really. Which is interesting.
It is.
So you go to search documents. Oh my God, this is so cool. It's so it's like 1997 all over again.
I know.
Washington, D.C. is in here. So if we go to California, we go to Los Angeles. Names. What, you know?
You would have to be the original names on the land patent. But you're not going to know that. So what you have to do is you have to use the land description at the bottom where it says township range. That's what you're going to get off of your survey.
So you have to have the survey in order to fill all this out.
Or if you have your warranty deed.
Oh, because the warranty deed would have it in there. I just didn't even click anything. I just clicked search. It's going to show me everything under the sun, moon, and stars.
And if you click on the little blue on the left, it will bring up those land patents. It's really cool. And you go at the top and it says print or go to image at the top right there in the center. Yeah.
Add certified copy to cart.
Correct. There. And this one happens to be printed.
Oh my Lord. Look at this. Look, it got edited. So it was like it must have been like a press. They must have had like a press and they used the press and then they just wrote in with ink here. See, 33.
Isn't that cool?
Oh man, that's cool. Chief chief patents section. This is not the president, though.
No, I don't know who that would be. Chief patent. That is strange. It has a patent number on it.
Huh. If I go to results list and I go down, let's see here. Meridian. Meridian. Huh.
Yeah, mine
doesn't even
is
have Los Angeles.
Yeah, mine's Tallahassee, my Meridian, even though I don't live there. That's just the thing that they use to record the patents under.
There's 100+ pages here. So San Bernardino. I see. So it's all. Let's see. This one's handwritten. You know, California was like given to the United States of America through some kind of a deal. Oh wait, here it is, Grover Cleveland.
There it is. Yeah, that's pretty. What was the year? 19. What was that? 94? 1900 and
1894. They write it out in letters.
Yeah, it's like trying to read it.
Huh. And then you can just literally just add certified copy to cart. Boom.
Yep, and you can print that too. Like the top, you can just print like a little, so you
I
have
see
like,
that. You can download it or print it as a PDF. Well, that's easy.
Yes, very much so. If you got that right information, it's easy to pull it up. The work is really in the warranty chain, doing the whole chain of title part.
Because you got to find each one, but once you have your deed or your land breakdown of the township, range, meridian, and section number, then you're pretty much good.
Yeah, it depends on how your county set up their records for search.
So this is how you find the land patent. Where do you go to find the warranty and quitclaim deeds? You go to your county?
You go to your county. We're county recorder's office.
And you go to
see
search or something?
Yeah, see if they've got like a record search. There you go, property.
Property, Los Angeles County. Property search. By address. So if we did like let's see here. 123 Blue Street. I have no idea. Let's see what comes up. Here we go. Sun Valley. AIN. So here's an address that we just pulled up, 10894 Olinda Street.
And then if you scroll down, maybe it's got a PDF somewhere. They probably make you actually go there and they have to search it for you and you have to pay for it. That's what it looks like. They don't actually have the...
So you would print this page off and then take this page into them because they need to look up this AIN number, and then they would print, you would have them print all the previous deeds?
You can ask them to do the record search for you, and you just have to pay for them to do that service.
Oh, it's a service, so it might take them
mine won't do it. Like, my county refuses to do it because they publish theirs publicly. So I'd have to go to the website, pull all the documents, and then if I want them certified, I have to take it to them, and then they recertify them again. But as far as like them doing the work, ours will not do it. So it's really up to the county how they have it set up.
Okay, so then you find all of these, just like you did in your thingy. You find all of those. Where was that? No, where was it? It was here.
Under the steps.
Here. And then you have all those listed, and then you have the summary. So then you make the summary. Okay, I'm tracking. And then this top part is the notice. Okay, so you're giving notice. The definition of notice from Black's Law is information. So it's an informational type filing. So notice number one, you're noticing your intent, you're noticing what's happening, you're noticing what's going to happen. You're given the full breakdown of everything. That makes total sense. And then you're saying, okay, men and women, I certify that we're bringing this up to present time and putting this under our name, our as men and women, okay. And then you're basically stating that this is going down. If it's, as long as it's not challenged within 60 days, allodial freehold. So all this wording, I'm assuming you got all this wording from the book.
Yeah, it's in the book, all the wording.
Is that right? Sarah, you there?
I lost you there for a minute, Brandon.
Sarah. Hello. Uh-oh. I think you may have crashed on us.
Oh.
Can you hear me, Sarah? There you go. There we are. Hello? Sarah. Hello?
Sorry.
Can you see?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, you crashed out. Okay, good. You back?
Yes. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
Okay. So then we have let me get back to that. We have, is all this from Ron Gibson's book, all the wording for this notice? Yes. Okay, that makes sense. So it's very wordy. That's why I asked. Okay. We have a under penalty of perjury jurat here. So this was stated under oath. Now, you didn't notarize this through a public notary. This is just a private notary through witnesses.
Right. He said that actually witnesses were stronger than a notary.
That would be true in something like a land patent for sure.
Yeah.
So you have the witnesses here, and then the notice, and then boom, it goes right into the summary, and then okay, wow.
Yeah.
And then you got the land patent from this website, you got the other deeds from this, and then here is the book by Ron Gibson, which is all about the land patents. And this was available through a download that you sent me.
Yes.
Oh, wow. 2014, second edition. And then we have, what is this? Land patent posting.
So that is the, when to post it, I know we're talking about that a little bit, like how the post office and the library didn't want to allow me to post my land package. So what I did is I did some searching, some other alternatives, and I found this state and national help, and I sent you the one-page letter or one-page notification on that. And what that shows is like they will actually post the patent for you. But I was saying, I already did my own, but they will also do the land patent for you. You can pay them and they'll do your whole search and everything for you.
Oh, I heard about that for $500.
This particular guy charges $850. I contacted him to talk to him about the actual posting part. I really wasn't interested in the other, but he did tell me that he charges $850 to do the patent. But I took his idea and I was like, I'll just make my own website. And so I posted it myself. And then I also posted it out front of my property, because the county does that all the time. They post like, the red and white sign saying that, for whatever reason, they need to make a change or whatever to that property. So I posted it out front of my property. And
they do that a lot. They do that even in like whenever anybody's going to get a liquor license, they always post it up for like 60 or 90 days.
Right.
In front of, because I guess that's because like it makes a rowdy place or a rowdier place. So like people have the opportunity to sort of like speak up against that or whatever, if they don't want alcohol being served there or something like that or whatever. So,
yeah. What's interesting. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying what was interesting, the signs are in red and white, and everything with the land's in red. So it's kind of interesting that our signs here are red and white when they post out in front of the property. And I'm talking just like even just plain vacant property, if they want to change like from residential or to commercial or whatever. So I just thought that was interesting. So I did the same thing. I posted it out there myself, and it's going to be up there for 61 days.
It's beautiful. So now that pretty much covers the basics of the land patent / warranty deed, quitclaim deed / the notice. So I'm tracking with that part. Now on the other end, we have the mortgage part, which I definitely know a lot more about. This is pretty much exactly how I would have done it. It looks like it's almost exactly from my videos.
Yes.
You have the registered mail, you have the who it's going to, and then you send it to the CEO, of Freedom Mortgage. And then we have the regarding section, the common law contract, the definition section, the most important section. And then we have the facts and events. Yeah, this is just like a standard discharge. This is exactly how I would do it. Just wait until you see the next one that I'm going to do on the advanced court. I wrote like a 27-page totally insane conditional acceptance, and I sent it but I haven't shown anyone yet, so that'll be fun. Limitations of time, 30 days, point by point. So the matter will be considered settled and paid in full if they keep the enclosed silver coin. Yeah.
And you notice I didn't put anything on there about like the trust or anything like that. I just said it's about the money part, accepting as gold and silver as for debt. Because I didn't want to get into the legalities of all of that stuff. But I just, at this point, and I did not tell them that I was doing anything with the land patent. I think that's very important not to even mention any of that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you right now, if they try to stop you, they're not going to try to stop you, because the reason why they're not going to try to stop you is because they know that they don't want to get busted for all this fraud. Because I went through Title 18. I dug through Title 18 top to bottom, and I found tons and tons and tons of felonies associated with stealing or tricking someone into giving up their negotiable instruments. And I put them all in the most recent conditional acceptance that I wrote up. And according to Title 18, it's just for one count of each of the individual felonies, it's like 172 years in prison.
Wow.
Because there's like 19 of them.
Yeah.
Then a lot of them you can hit them with one for each negotiable instrument. So, for example, in a mortgage it would be at least 3 or 4. So you could hit them with like 3 or 4 counts of like 15 of those 19. So you could probably get that thing all the way up to just some astronomically high number, and that's something I'm going to be going into on the advanced course on this next conditional acceptance that I did. So you start getting into that kind of thing, and they don't want anybody talking about this. They sure as hell don't want it going to court.
It's true.
And then all you do, if it doesn't go into a courtroom, all you do is just say, "Oh, I want a trial by jury. Let's do a trial by jury. Let's do it right away." And then they're gonna.
They'll
They're
freak
going to be
out.
like, shut this down as fast as possible. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm totally tracking with what you're doing here. So, wow. And they haven't responded to this. They probably won't. So.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I get my coin back or not. But it doesn't matter because they have to accept it. I'll just send it back again.
Well, no. As per UCC 3-603, if they send it back, then you just keep it because it's discharged.
That's true. That's true.
So they can't refuse it. Did you put that in here?
I didn't put they can't refuse it. I just said to accept this coin. Underneath the I think it was the conditions or something in there. It says accept this coin because it's basically they can't rebut it. I put it in there. I think it's below that, the conditional acceptance part. I think it's down in the time.
Yeah, tender.
Yeah.
Yep. So how much time would you say you spent on this document? Is pretty simple, in my opinion. But how much time would you say you spent on the other stuff, the land patent stuff, the warranty deed stuff, that whole end of it?
It took me, I would say, a good 3 weeks, just because I'd never done something like that before. I wasn't sure where to look. I actually went to the title company and asked them, hey, where can I look to find the warranty deeds? Because I'm doing this project with my child and we're looking up land stuff, I just kind of I didn't want to say too much. And he said, sure. And he emailed me a bunch. He's like, what's your email address? And he sent me a bunch of links where they look to do their searches. And that's how I got the information.
Wow.
But that took me the longest because I wasn't sure where to start, who to talk to. So the book just tells you go to the BLM, but there's not much more as far as where to look. So that's what I did. I was like, well, if my title company can do it, then I can. So that's how I approached it.
Exactly. And just to share with the people watching, the spot where I got this book with her help, with Sarah's help, is, I don't know if this is what you would type in, but it's the Internet Archive, which is archive.org, and it's EXH466 Land Patents by Ron Gibson, 4/29/2017. And then if you were to go online, buy Land Patents by Ron Gibson.
Yeah, he has a website too you can order the book from. I don't remember what it is, but there is one there. Yeah, that's it.
Is that him?
That is him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there it is. He's got seminars. He's got seminars. What's we got here? Oh, yeah. He's got seminars. There's one coming up on April 23rd. There it is. There he is. And he's got guest speakers and all sorts of good stuff. And then, let's see here. Oh, wait. Oh, here's the land patent assistance. Here we go. You fill out a little form online and you can send. So silver assistance is $1,500. Gold assistance is $29.95. I don't know what that means, but
yeah, I'm not sure what different sort, but I know it was expensive, so that's why I decided to do it on my own. But that other guy that I sent you has it for $850 if they want him to do it.
Very nice. This one here says 179 pages. So this might be a newer version of the book.
Let's see.
Granting your gift. Oh, here we go. It's $65 for the book.
Yep.
And looks like you have to pay here, providing your mailing address and granting your gift. $65 minimum. Here we go. So this is a little order form right here.
Yeah.
On americanmeetinggroup.com/Ron-Gibson. We have the $65 for this book, and I'm going to buy this thing, I think.
It's a good idea.
It comes in a spiral bound. See, this is the newest version, it looks like.
Yeah, that's the one I have. I've got the same one, 179 pages.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, this is not as complicated as I thought it was going to be.
Just takes a little time.
Now, of the 3 weeks, how many hours total would you say you spent in those 3 weeks to get that part done, the private side done?
I would say at least I invested 15 hours a week. I know that sounds like a lot, but I have a pretty full life. So I did a lot of reading. That's where most of my time was spent, is reading and understanding what this all meant. And then looking at my county, like my county's rules and how they're set up. And then even looking at my land tax bill and trying to understand what's on my bill and breaking that down. Because if you're going to stand in your status, you have to know how you're standing. So I really read a lot of that stuff before I actually started typing things up and searching. So,
would you recommend people do all this work themselves and not have somebody else hired to do it?
I do. Because I learned
otherwise
so
you just
much.
Can't defend yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
If the county comes knocking and you paid someone else to do it, then what?
Yeah. And it's so important to know, like, your local, like what, and I even went to a couple county commissioner meetings so that I knew who was there and like who they were and how they conducted their meetings and how they treated the people that were there. Like, that's very important, because this is the grassroots we're going to be talking to and dealing with once you do your land patent, and because when they realize you ain't paying property tax anymore, you got to know what you're talking about. And so that's why another reason, well, money, of course, it's expensive to have someone do it, but second of all, you need to learn it anyways. So that's how I look at it.
Because the county's going to come knocking for their money, because they don't see a lot of people doing this. So to them, it's all new, probably, I'm assuming.
Yes. And matter of fact, they just passed code in our county that you can't live in your, like, an RV or something on your property. And if you do, then you have to get a permit, and you only can stay in it for 6 months. So everyone was complaining about it. And that's when I said here, and I sent them that link to the book because I think it's a good start where people can start at least reading and figuring out what do you mean land patent? So I said, here, look into this link and just start reading and like understanding that you have rights. And so I think we're going to have a lot more people in our county standing up since they've done that. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's the beauty of COVID and all this crazy political horse shit is that they're pushing everyone in this direction so hard that we're on the front end of a massive wave of people. And as more and more people are doing this, it just becomes more and more and more people because then it's like, well, fuck it. Everyone else is doing it. You know, then you start getting that kind of a effect. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But the fact that, I mean, you know, people make fun of California and combi formula and all this, and it's like in the big cities, yeah. But you start going outside the big city, like if I go an hour and a half east of here from Los Angeles, it's all hicks and trucks and shotguns and basset hounds, just like anywhere else in the whole country. It's the same shit. You know what I mean? And you go like the way California is divided is right in the middle. There's like a diagonal line, and on the south end of that line you have San Francisco and all that, and then on the east side you have more inland, and then all the way from the middle all the way up, it's all just like anywhere else in America. It's the same exact shit. Los Angeles, San Francisco, and then like all of Southern California is a little bit different, but California is so big and people don't realize that it's the same shit. 96% of the entire, 95% of the entire landmass of the United States of America is all the same shit.
Yes.
It's Hicks. It's American Hicks, and that's really, it's just that simple, Yeah. So people in the big city, I've met so many people here. I grew up in Indiana, so and I've lived in different places like Florida and stuff like that. And I've lived in Chicago, New York City, and LA for many years. So, but driving through, you start driving anywhere, you start driving outside the city, and you're in, it's the same shit. So it's just funny to me because I don't care if you're in California or if you're in Florida, if you're in Texas, you start telling people they can't park derelict RVs on their fucking property. You're gonna have some pissed off hicks. You know what I mean?
They are not happy. It's so true. And and I couldn't blame them because I'm like, it's their property. If they want to park it on their properties, then what do I got to say about that? So, but if that's what it takes to get people to realize that they have a stand, then so be it. I'm like, if it's going to take RVs.
Hey, whatever it takes.
Very true. So,
that's amazing.
I missed that meeting. That's what I'm kind of kicking myself. I was like, seriously, they brought it up and I was not there.
You got Cletus coming up there being like, I think this is bullshit. This is America. I don't know what you guys are thinking. This ain't Syria. He's up there like spitting in like a water bottle with like chewing tobacco. I know it. I lived it my whole childhood, so I know it so well. And I love it personally. I love America so much. It's crazy. So
it is.
I totally understand. Well, any other tips or tricks or any other information? I think this has been a really great introduction into the subject to where someone can get an idea of all the different steps and get an idea of where to look and how much things might cost. It sounds like to do it all yourself, the cost is extremely low. You pay a few certified documents, you mail a few things out, maybe you're going to mail out the conditional acceptance to discharge your mortgage. So even if you bought on Amazon, I bought a couple of little pouches of 1 gram silver coins, and it's 10 1-gram silver coins in a cute little velvet pouch for $28, which I know is maybe kind of expensive to some people or not. Like, to me, I don't give a shit. I don't want to deal with it. It's like easy. Just go on Amazon, type in 1 gram silver coins. It says 10 in a pouch. You buy it. It's this cute little pouch, and now you have 10 little 1 gram coins, and then you can take one of those little 1 gram coins and you can tape it onto the paper like what you did. That makes perfect sense to me. Or if someone didn't want to attach anything to the paper, you could just go in the direction of just trying to get just getting the evidence that where's the negotiable instrument? Where's the negotiable instrument now? Are you going to be paying me for the negotiable instrument? Like, what bank converted my original negotiable instrument, which is the application itself? Under what did I originally sign to approve that original negotiable instrument to be converted? Once it was converted, where did that money go? Once the Federal Reserve notes came back from the Federal Reserve as per 31 CFR 328.5, like, you can start getting into all of that, and they want to get the fuck away from you real fast. So there's a lot of different ways to pull that off. You took the I think a really good route, which is just the silver coin route. I think that's a great avenue. Yeah.
My husband has been collecting coins and given coins since he was little. So we have some, and he just decided which one he was going to do. I was like, okay, whatever. He's the coin guy. I just give me whatever. So I don't care. I'm the typer and like the reader and all that. And he's here, I'll just give you this one. So yeah.
He was a cherry on top.
Yeah. And I also did my car with a dime.
What year?
It's 1925.
Okay, because I know they I don't know what years, but I know they did like less and less silver over the years. It was like 99%, and then it was like 82%, and then it was like 57%, and then over the years they just got rid of less and less of it. I even read that they used to have silver in everyday items. They used to have silver in silverware. Obviously, they used to have silver in mirrors. Had silver in them. And over the years, they've removed the silver from literally every single commodity, which is very interesting. Very interesting.
I have a theory on why they did that. And my theory is because silver itself is very medicinal.
Yeah. That makes sense. So, how did it go with your dime with your car? Did that get done?
I don't know if you want to discuss it here, but they're casing me out right now.
What does that mean, casing?
Like, I went to one of the stores here, and I was parked, and I got out and came back. When I came back out, there was a lady that parked like one lot over from me, one spot over, and she was like waiting in the handicapped place, and I'm like, why isn't she getting out of her car? And she never did. And as soon as I backed out of the car, my daughter looks over and she pulls out her phone, and she's still sitting in her car, and they're taking pictures of my car. And I'm like, So there's something going on. They're following me right now. So we'll see.
It's so interesting. I mean, I'm telling you, just for everyone listening to this, I believe it's. Are you there?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Having a little bit of a connection issue, but that's okay. I think it'll smooth out in a moment. So I believe it's 31 CFR 2. Oh shit. 328.5. Yeah. I love it when I get it right. So what happens is, just for everyone watching this who's not super familiar with all of my work, because I found this actually after the course was released. I found this probably like a couple of months ago. Someone just randomly emailed me this, and I like almost died. So if you look at 30, this is really important for discharging. If you have any issues, Sarah, with anything, this is the route you want to go, and you will literally terrify them more than like Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Okay.
Ooh.
So it's 31 CFR subsection 328.5 forms of endorsement. So what they do is, so as you know from my course, a negotiable instrument is a promise to pay, and then you sign it to activate it, right?
Correct.
So it's no different than a Federal Reserve note. For anyone listening, if you look in your wallet and you pull out a little dollar bill, you'll see that it has signatures on it. The signature is what activates the negotiable instrument, right? So if you go to 328.5, what the bank does, or the mortgage company or the title company or whoever, and we've actually confirmed this with title companies. This is actually what they do. They take your mortgage, and once you sign it, it now becomes a negotiable instrument. It becomes a promise to pay. Sarah promised to pay for her property for X amount of years at X amount of money, right? Now what they do is, just like right here, the banks actually present that negotiable instrument, and they write an exchange order, and they write it literally just like this, verbatim. For presentation to the Federal Reserve Bank of, like in LA, the nearest one is San Francisco. So you would write San Francisco in there, and it says fiscal agent of the United States for redemption or in exchange for securities of a new issue in accordance with written instructions submitted by Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase Manhattan, whatever, right? And what they're doing here is they're exchanging the application itself that was signed with the wet ink signature for Federal Reserve notes, right? Now, when you bring this up to them, they get very, very nervous. And when you start reading inside, if you type in Title 18 negotiable instruments, actually, let me pull up even better than that, just so you know this is here as well. Sarah, if you go to my resources page,
okay,
and you scroll down to, this is a section, this all in red like this. This is my breakdown for Title 18. So I read through all of Title 18, and I put together an entire list. Hold on one second. Let me remove this. So if you go down on this section for Title 18, the different things, what I did was I wrote them in simple English, each one.
Perfect.
So I took all the complicated bullshit and simplified it, right? Now if you go down on this, down to, I have a internationally protected people here. And then there's a couple of notes that I found in the title that are really, really important that you can use. But if you go down to, there's a financial section, financials. Here's a couple of notes. And then here we start getting into negotiable instruments.
Okay.
So we have here embezzles, extracts, purloins, stealing money or instruments. Knowingly receiving stolen property, fraudulently getting money from the transfer of an instrument or security, which is all mortgages.
Yes.
$250,000 per infraction. Well, per felony. It's a felony.
Yeah.
Up to 25 years in prison for that one. Per felony. This is per felony. So you start getting into all of this, they get really nervous very, very rapidly. It's a much more aggressive. They are not going to be sending anyone to watch you if you start getting into this. They are going to be crying and smoking crack in the closet trying to feel better.
Yeah. We were like, being in the military, we're very aware of what goes on around us. And we were like, So we're giving them the 30 days, which is up on the 15th. This is for the car. And after that, that's it. We were nice. We went no dispute and all of that. But if they try to,
if they keep jerking you around, I would start going down the negotiable instrument felony route.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're stealing all your notes. They're stealing all your instruments and lying to you. It's all fraud. So, a buddy of mine, Joe Lustica, the guy that I do a lot of the podcasts with, he also recommended just a couple of days ago, which I think is really smart, filing a UCC-1 common law lien on your vehicle. Actually, on your property too. Actually, now that I think about it, now that you're doing all this. So a common law lien is a defensive lien. A commercial lien is an offensive lien for people who are new to this subject. Okay. So when you're going through discharges, I don't know exactly how it all works, but theoretically it's smart to file common law liens. And I believe that's done through a UCC-1.
Yes.
Joe Lustica and I are probably going to do a show on this soon because he just did a bunch. So
I will tell you, I did look into those because I was like, I'm going to put a lien on the car, and they got a little confusing. So I was like, I need to sit down and just really kind of drill down on that. So if you're going to do a show, that would be very helpful, like, because I did look into doing that for the car.
Yeah. And in the meanwhile, you being a reader, I just shared my screen again. If you go up to my state national resources page, right, and you go down to, let's see here. Here it is, number 17.
Okay.
This is the section on liens. Even though I haven't figured it all out yet, I've figured out quite a bit of it. I'm getting there. At the very end of number 17, there's a click here to download that book and read it.
Perfect.
And this book here is a book called Commercial Liens, A Most Potent Weapon.
Yes.
This is completely free. It's a PDF, and you can download it and print it or do whatever you want. It's literally a full-blown book. And it is a phenomenal book, might I add. It tells you the pros, the cons, there's an entire section at the end of dangerous things you should know about and keep in mind, affidavits, everything's in here. And it's not terribly hard to read. On a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give it like maybe a 6. A 5 or a 6 on the difficulty scale. So
that is wonderful. Have you happened to read or see this particular book? It is by David Robinson, called The Unrebutted Affidavits Stand as Truth.
I probably have that in my closet. I have basically every book in the world.
It has a lot of banking stuff in there, which was really, it was really awesome as well. That really helped to kind of clarify some things. But yeah.
I love it.
Yes. We're all trying, huh? We're all trying.
We're all trying. We're all trying. Yep. I am, I've got a lot of exciting things in the works, and so does Joe, and we're having a lot of fun. So,
well, I'll definitely keep everyone updated, and let you know how this all pans out. And, we'll see. I'm hoping for the best.
No, it sounds like you've got this all pretty much locked down. You've already done like a revocation of election. You've already done like all the basic stuff, right?
Yes.
Did you do your passport already?
Yes.
Okay. So you have
all done.
What kind of passport did you get?
A 5-star.
Okay. Yeah. Beautiful. You are, gosh, anyone with a 5-star passport, I don't know. I like to put that information in all of my conditional acceptances, by the way. Just put, I always put in there, hi, I have an introduction section, who I am and what I do. And I always put in there that I'm an internationally protected person as per 18 USC 112. And I just put like a bunch of information in there about how, I'm not a U.S. citizen and this and that. And you're just doing that to very politely and gently let them know that there ain't shit you're going to be able to do about any of this, basically. That's why I put it in there, right? I don't put it in there as a, like, oh, fuck you, I'm not a U.S. citizen, blah, blah, blah. I just, hey, in order to, just give you guys a little background on me so you understand me a little bit better, I want to give you a little bit of information about me, and you're literally just, it's like a mini bio almost. And it's just very matter of fact, very, very, like, just whatever.
Just general.
I do it because it's like my version of a totally non-combative way of saying, like, just so you know, there ain't shit you can do about anything in this entire fucking document. So don't even try. Just sit back. I'll make this as painless as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Special cucumbers.
Yeah. Special just for you. We measured your rectum and we custom grew them just for you. Okay.
Love it.
Oh my God. All right, Sarah, anything else you want to say about this? Anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to say?
Just that I feel that this journey, especially with the land patents, because it's so American, I don't know how else to put it, I think that people should do it on their own. And I really feel that because it was a great journey to learn why we should own land and how important that is that we own land.
I love it. I agree 100%.
Perfect.
All right, Sarah, thank you so much. I will probably have this put up by today or tomorrow, and I'm sure everyone will love this because this is an area that I've gotten endless amount of questions. There's a lot of interest, and I didn't have any information. So I really appreciate you coming on the show and helping to enlighten and show all your documentation and everything to everybody, because I think this is going to be a very motivating for people to realize that it's not expensive at all. First off,
no.
I mean, it's like you can get the book for free if you really want to and not pay for it. But I think you should support Ron. You can get worst case scenario, you get a few certified copies of a few things. You file a few things. I mean, maybe a few $100, maybe at the most.
Yeah, because the certified copies only cost me $3.50
for each page. Is that right?
No, total.
What? For all that shit, everything?
For 3 of the certified copies of the patent, only cost me $3.50. And then recording is separate, of course. But yeah, it's not that much.
All in all, you're probably like $120 in, or not even.
Yeah, that's I would say that would be a good amount. Just because our recording fees are really high in Florida because we don't have a state tax. So they charge a ridiculous amount of money here for recording.
So 15 hours a week for 3 weeks, that would be 45 hours, and then maybe $120. So 45 hours and $120.
Yes.
But what I see from that, from like a theoretical standpoint, is this is your fucking property. Like, you should know about your property. Like, it's going to make you love your property that much more. You're learning about the history of your property. You're learning about what are your neighbors tied into your patents. You know, who knows? Next time, Jane from next door is trimming her hedges, you could say, hey, did you know that my property and your property are the same patent, and it was signed by Theodore Roosevelt? Check it out. How fucking cool is this? Like, there's a whole badass side of all this. Plus, you can keep all the documents. Plus, you can mail those documents to the sheriff. Even go and see the sheriff, say hi to the sheriff. Hi, I wanted to come and introduce myself. My name is Sarah, blah, 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 and I just did this land patent, and I just wanted to come down and file it, but I haven't had an opportunity to come down and actually say hi to you guys and introduce myself, and how are you doing, and do you need anything? There's this whole other side of it that I think is so cool and so badass that you're going to miss out on. And if anybody ever challenges you, or if you ever, let's say you had a party at your house and someone got hurt and then something happened, you wouldn't have a fucking clue.
Yeah.
Someone sues you and you start getting nervous, and then like you're freaking out, and no lawyer knows anything about any of this. So, it's just, it's really, I couldn't agree with you more from a standpoint of all the 8 million things that I've done myself that I probably could have paid someone else to do for me. It's so empowering, and it's so amazing. And then also when you go to sell the property, if you ever sell the property, that's a whole nother, how are you going to explain what you've done to the property? How are you going to transfer said property? I think if it's possible, putting the land patent into a trust or something like that, is that even possible?
Yes.
So that's a really, really super easy way of transferring the property. You put the property in a trust, and then you just change the trustees of the trust. You just switch out the names. You don't even need approval. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to do anything. You just sit down with a notary or even with some witnesses if you want to do it on the private side. You sign some documentation stating that I'm no longer a trustee, and Sarah's now the trustee of this particular trust. Boom, you just sold your property. Yeah. No bullshit, no lawyers, no title companies, no escrows, no weird cocksucking pieces of shit coming around trying to do God knows what. It doesn't take 4, 5, 6 months. You can probably sell your property for dramatically more money doing it that way. I can't even imagine how much more money you could sell a property for. I mean, my God.
And I will tell you that I'm glad you brought that up, that you should never register it again, never record it in the county as far as like under warranty deed again, ever. And then when you go to sell it, and I use that term very loosely, is because you're kind of like bequeathing it in a way. And then you're really supposed to use gold and silver because that's it's property, it's land. So if I were to bequeath it for however many gold coins, then that's how it has to be done. So you're taking your land out of the system. It lack of a better term.
And the easiest thing, if you wanted to make that a little bit more palatable for the totally insane world that we live in, you could just write up a bill of sale or whatever, or a bequeath transfer document or whatever, or just put it in the trust documentation.
Right.
And you could say that, you just get 25 little 1 gram silver coins for $50. And then on paper, the transfer was the 25 silver coins, but in reality, you can give them whatever you want, Federal Reserve notes or whatever other bullshit, and that would be almost like a separate transaction that wouldn't need necessarily be part of, the actual transaction itself or whatever. There's a lot of different, but at that point, it doesn't even matter though, because those papers aren't going to the county. No one's going to see them. It's just between you and the new purchaser of the property. One of the things I did want to ask, this is a question I get asked a lot, and it's a really fascinating question. Does doing all this change anything with utilities, water, internet, electricity, power lines?
No.
Nothing.
Mm-mm. You decide to contract with them. That's your decision. I mean, that's up to you to have those services on your property.
Do they don't have any like clauses or anything weird or anything in there because they don't have like for example, the meter, the electrical meter, once you do a land patent, now they need permission to come and check that meter.
Yes.
But you have I wanted to share this. You have a public notice.
Yes.
That you put in front of your property. You have this here.
I have two. I have that one and the other one.
You have this one here, which whoever's watching this video can pause this and read this. And then there's a second one that she has here. Now, just as a little side note, because I do talk about this theoretically a little bit in my course, you should put some kind of contact information on this.
I have a separate sign that has that for my eggs for sale. I have my number.
Because it's one of those things where it's like no trespassing without your express authorization. But how do you get authorization? You know what I mean? It's like, so that's good. Yeah, you're going to want to add 112 to this. It's 112 for what you're doing here is actually even more important than 242 and 241, by the way. 112. So if we look at 112, when you're done, you're going to be literally by law, by statute, you are literally a completely foreign government, foreign zone, right? And you're going to be protected under Section A here, 18 USC 112. Whoever assaults, strikes, wounds, imprisons, or offers violence to anyone or their private accommodation or means of transport. This is a big one. This one, because 242 and 241 are a little bit less explicit.
Okay.
This one is really, really, really explicit to the point where if someone came on your property and fucked with you, you can actually call the Department of Homeland Security and request assistance from the Secret Service. and that comes from 18 USC 3056 A5. If you go to 18 USC 3056 and then you go to Section A5, you have, under the direction of the Secretary of Homeland Security, the United States Secret Service is authorized to protect the following persons. Section 5, visiting heads of foreign states or foreign governments.
Okay. I'll add that on there.
And let me see. And then you have copy of the land patent posted out front as well?
No, I'm not posting that until after the 61st day.
Okay, you are going to post that, though.
It's posted out there now. My whole packet is, yes. But after the 61st day, then I'm going to add the land patent number to the signs, too.
I see.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's a work of art, in my opinion.
Thank you.
I love it. Okay, how about that? Anything else? Anything else to add here?
I think that's it. I think we covered everything. Let me look at the email real quick, but I think we went over it all. Yep. I really appreciate you having me on and letting me share.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate you coming on and sharing. There's not a lot of people doing this, so you're the only person I've had reach out to me that is like seriously doing this.
I am tired of the lies. I want my stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it blows me away still.
I know, it's totally crazy. California is 1,000 times worse when it comes to all this stuff. We really don't own anything. I mean, it's
hard.
like eight times removed. You know, in Florida and Texas and some of these other areas, it's not so bad, but but that's why I'm here, because the more chaos, the more opportunity, in my opinion.
There you go. More learning opportunities, right?
If you're the guy who can do all this and you're in the area where it's the worst, then you become the Jedi Knight everybody wants to call. You know what I mean? So
very true.
That's kind of where I'm hoping I'm heading. But almost everyone that I talk to who's doing all this stuff is in either Tennessee or Texas. Tons of Texas. So much Texas is unbelievable. Texas is probably going to break off from the freaking union or something. Who knows?
Well, rumor has it, I don't know if you heard, but they actually have their republic has already stood up.
What does that mean?
So, like, they already have Article 3 courts. They already have council. They already have.
Wow.
Yeah, they're already stood up like it's recognized by the corporate side. They have a whole republic government of the republic already standing.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I get a lot of Texas traffic. It's funny, if I had to name off the top of my head where, like, what most people are, they're truck drivers and Texans. Those are like the two biggest. So many truck drivers reach out to me. It's unbelievable. And so many Texans. I mean, people from everywhere, but Texas is Texas, so. Yeah,
a lot of truckers. When I would go on my trips and stuff, I try to talk to as many truckers as I can.
Yeah.
And share so that they can get out, get off underneath the taxes and, because they're hurting. They're hurting a lot right now.
Yeah, I always tell the truckers, I say, if you can become independent and then you can draw up the contracts in a way where, like, for example, in my landscaping company, whenever we're hauling anything from one location to another, during the haul, we own whatever's in the truck as per the contract.
Right.
So I'm not hauling for someone else in exchange for money as a service. I'm simply hauling my own shit, and it's completely private.
Yes.
So it's only commerce at the point of pickup and the point of drop off, and until the materials come off the truck and are physically placed on the property, It's not commerce. It's ours. It's ours until the property is picked up and placed on the property, and then that's when it becomes theirs on the contract. And I feel like when you do it that way, if you're writing the contract, then at that point you can get rid of the driver's license. You can drive in the private, and then you can have a passport, and then you don't have to stop at weigh stations, and then there's no, the only thing is like the maximum weight and stuff like that. You just got to keep in mind like wind, and like you don't want to have some ungodly amount of weight going through some windy area or snowy area, and you can't stop the goddamn thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
But as long as you have everything within reason, and it's safe and it's decent, I feel like I don't know a lot about all of this, but I feel like in my head, theoretically, you could drive in the private at that point. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. But the only thing is the insurance side. I don't know. They use insurance to control a lot of this. And what they'll do eventually, if enough people start doing this, is they will use the insurance to twist the arm of the people trying to do this. I guarantee you that's the angle that they will go if people start doing this a lot and they don't like it. So that would be the only part that I could see getting a little bit hairy. But besides that, I don't really see there being any other real issues.
Yeah. I think the way out from underneath the insurance is if those people that are driving, like my husband, for instance, being a truck driver, we're hoping by the end of the year, he'll have his trust, and then it won't matter. If any harm, and my husband's a very super safe driver. He's very adamant about that stuff. And, but at least he'll have his trust. So if he decides to go that route, if God forbid something happened, he would be able to make them whole, whatever, damage or hopefully not life, but that would be the only way around it if the insurance thing got into play.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that I define limited liability in a very interesting way in my new dictionary. I think people should be more willing to be in honor and to repair things that actually need to be fixed, because that's how you live in honor, right? But there is a limited liability aspect that is built into having a trust. And frankly, it's just as good limited liability in a trust as it is in a corporation. People don't know this because they just don't know anything. But the problem is that if you are going to be operating out of a trust, and yes, you have limited liability, but I feel like ethically you should only be leaning on that limited liability if you get into a situation where, let's say, someone did do something dumb and you hit them, but it was like they're the idiot, but yet they come after you as if you're the one who's at fault. Those kind of situations, the limited liability of a trust can be really effective to protect you and your assets. So,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And one more thing I wanted to share, because you were mentioning about my neighbor. My neighbor, the name on my original land patent is his grandfather.
Wow. See, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. That is so freaking cool.
I went over there and showed it to him, and we were both in tears. It was so awesome.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, and I actually told him when I finally get done with everything and how everything works out that I would help him and do his too.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like because I know there's a lot of people who reach out to me and they want to start offering a lot of this stuff as services because they see a lot of what we're doing and they're like, well, shit, if I could wake up and do that every day and get paid to do it, I would feel so fulfilled in my life. And I understand that. I totally understand that. I feel like what makes more sense to me is more like a mentorship rather than a service package. So like, let's say, for example, something like a land patent, you're going to increase their property value by God knows how much. You're going to save them God knows how much on their property. It's just like a no-brainer. You could say like, okay, you pay me 1 year of property taxes and I will sit down with you and I will train you personally for 2 weeks. Plus I'll do all the work for you. That's a no-brainer. Everyone wins. And like, yeah, you say like, oh, it's like $12,000, Brandon. Yeah, but like that's a whole month of work. You basically work for that person for like a whole month. Now by the time you're done with that service, you know, you've made a good amount of money, which you should, because you're delivering an extremely, wildly, outrageously valuable service. It's probably worth 4, 5, 6, 7 years worth of property taxes easily, right? So maybe you do like 2 years property tax, something like that. Whatever it is that is really pays your bills and makes you live good or whatever, right? And then you train them and you develop like more of like a training type platform, and then you train them up, you show them what you're doing, and you sort of like almost like mentor them through the process. Like, to me, that would be awesome.
Yes.
Like, that would be really, really cool. And you could make insane amount of money like that, and you wouldn't even need to do any marketing, because once one person starts hearing about it, they're going to tell all their friends. That's it. It's over. It's a done deal. Literally.
Right. And I will say that, like, my thinking too is that my brain is so like military thinking. If I have more troops doing this, then it just helps the movement, so that I'm not fighting all these, you know, like fighting battles with the property tax people or the sheriff or whatever, because there'll be more of us standing up saying, no, this is how we're going to do this. So that's how I look at it too. It just helps me anyways.
And I've thought about this a lot. And just as a little tip for you and for anybody else, I feel like the way to handle the county is to tell the county, look, everyone's doing this. You ain't stopping it. You ain't stopping it with guns. You ain't stopping it with papers. Okay. But why don't we do this? And you say, look, we want valuable services. We're not looking for a policing arm. We're not looking for you to tell us what we can do on our property. That's how you're going to get shot. What we need is a county that is in touch with the needs of the people. And we need a county that wants to deliver valuable services to us. And sadly, it's getting to a point real soon where we're the ones in control of the contract. And you're only going to get paid if we want to willingly contract with you, as it should be. Come on, this isn't communism. This isn't Soviet Union. You know, you can tell them that, and they'll be like, yeah. And then you say, look, if you want to actually deliver a valuable service to us, all these good people that I'm working with, we'd be more than happy to pay a subscription fee for something that we actually feel is a valuable service.
Right.
And you can get with the county and you can work out, well, what would be considered a valuable service from the county.
Right.
And then the county can go from whatever weird political horseshit that they're doing, and then they're just like, we get free money, so we don't really give a fuck. Now all of a sudden they wake up and they say, holy shit, if we don't actually do something of value for these fine people, we're fucked. We're going to get shut down. I think theoretically that's how it should go, because then there is no war, there is no dishonor. It's honorable.
Right.
It's like you guys, and at that point, it's like, look, you guys, if you guys don't want to do it and you don't want to talk to us, go have your hissy fit or whatever. But you're not going to be around much longer. Like, and you see that, you see the writing on the wall. So we're willing to work with you. We're willing to even give you ideas as to how maybe you could be of service. If you want to talk about it, call me.
Yeah.
And if they don't want to talk about it, then just let them, you know, the evolution is just going to be that they are exhausted from the society. It's just nature, you know.
Very true. Yeah, we have a good old boy system here, so it's going to be interesting.
What do you mean?
The council here, the commissioner council, their families have been here for generations and generations, and you know, they just vote the next one in, and it's another next family member. So that we call it the good old boy club. It's all the families have been here for for a god awful amount of time, and they own tons of property and all that stuff. I'm not afraid of them. Like, I'm not afraid to like stand up and tell them like, this is it, this is what's happening. But it's just, it's going to be hilarious because this whole RV thing, I think that's the tipping point.
Goddamn county think they can tell me what I can park on my fucking property, boy, they're about ready to learn the hard way. There's
a gossip group that I'm a part of, and man, they blew up all over that thing about it. And I went on there and I was like, just get your land patent, damn it, you know? And they're like, what? And so when I was trying to explain it to them, they tried arguing with me, and I'm just like, dude, like, you can continue doing this and paying taxes, getting permits, all you want. And he's like, well, what's the benefits of doing it? I'm like, oh, wow. So it's going to be a little bit of a journey, but you know.
Well, just so you know, and just so anyone knows, I mean, obviously, like, anyone can share my course. I love when people share my course. So if any of these people can withstand the total insanity of my course, by the time they're done with that course, they're going to be willing to pay you $25,000 to work with them for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a payment plan, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter, you know. Or hell, even better. I got an even better idea. You could help them get a loan for $50,000. Take the $50,000 for yourself, and then help them discharge the $50,000 loan. I like that idea. I think that's a winner. That's a winner. Winner, chicken dinner right there, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So then you just made $50,000, and then now you're going to help them with their land patent. So now, you know, as long as they're actually emotionally invested and they're not going to be like a spoiled brat because they just got it for free. You know, some people emotionally, they have to give up something they actually have in order to actually appreciate what you're giving them. But as long as they can still appreciate what you're giving them, and you can do it that way with a loan and discharge a loan, by all means. But if people are going to act like spoiled brats, it's going to be a fucking nightmare. It's not worth it. It's going to be super stressful.
See, that's why I'm like really hesitant about doing the whole, like, I'll, you know, take on that whole idea of doing land patents for people, because I can't stand crybabies. It drives me crazy. I can't handle, like, my kids don't act like that. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't even take it from my own children. Why am I going to take it from an adult? So I'll help them. Like, I don't mind like giving them the information and then they do the work. I'm totally okay with that. But I don't know. That's just how I feel. I feel like I like my peace.
Yeah.
You know, so.
No, I totally understand. I'm very picky with who I work with and stuff like that. So, but I'm just giving some ideas because I think that for people who aren't as established and maybe they aren't sure what they want to do with their life yet, there's a lot of people who I get a lot of messages. I get, I don't know, like 50 a day or 100 a day. And there's a lot of people who are really fired up, and they see this as a career move. Yeah. And it is a career move, and you can make like more money than most lawyers and doctors easily. Right. It's just that I see the pitfalls that could happen if you aren't careful with who you work with, and you aren't careful with making sure you don't hold their hand too much.
Yeah, that's why I'm just like, I have my own business and I'm very happy with what I do. And I rather someone else kind of like, that's why I gave you that thing saying, well, he can do it for $850. Because I'm like, I just, I'll give you the material and what I did, and you guys can follow that, and that's fine. But other than like, I'm here for a question if you need to ask me something. But other than that, I really don't want to do the work. Now, my neighbor, I will, because he's like 63 years old, and he's been a very good neighbor to us, and I don't mind helping him and like showing him, and he doesn't know how to type a letter, you know what I mean? So like, I get that. But as far as like helping the general public, I just say, hey, y'all have something to learn. I think it's important.
Yeah, and honestly, $850, Jesus fucking Christ. What the hell? Yeah. That's such a low, I don't even understand. Like, it's so low that it's actually like kind of scary. Like, it's like, how do you even, like,
maybe they're happy with where they're at in their life, and they feel like we do, they want to help, and yet this, they feel like they should be compensated in some way. But
yeah, I mean, what makes the most sense to me is get them a loan for $50,000 and just discharge it, because then everybody wins, and then
right.
you're getting crazy fucking rich. You know what I mean? Like you sell 10 of those a year, and you just made $500,000. You made $500,000. You're going to be $1 million from.
That's very true.
From so and everybody gets paid. Once you learn all this shit, the banks are getting paid. Everybody's getting paid. So
Well, we'll see at the end of this. Like if this ends up being where it comes out and it's smooth, and I'm not, having to bring out the horns and all that stuff, then maybe I'll consider it. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, see what happens. Grease up your guns, Sarah. I'm just kidding.
Let me go get them out.
I'm just kidding.
So, yeah.
I love it. All right. Well,
thank you so much.
I think that's everything. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And go ahead and hang on for just a second after I end the feed. And thanks again so much for coming on the show. This is amazing. I'm going to have this up in the next day or so. Okay.
That sounds great. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay.